Hi, this is Samantha Jambrin, and over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to go through with you the two main categories that are really plaguing our nation and really causing major health issues here in North America. It actually is global, but we're just going to focus here on North America today. Category number one is stress, anxiety, and depression. Why are they lumped together? Because unfortunately, they go hand in hand. It's like a domino effect. The second category that causes us health issues, major health issues, is environmental toxins and chemicals. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and go through first stress, anxiety, and depression, what we're doing to cope with it, and how it's affecting us in today's society. So 65% of North Americans take prescriptions daily. 43% take mood-altering drugs on a daily basis also. That means there's almost half of North Americans suffer from stress, anxiety, and depression, and they require medication to help them get through their day. And over the last 10 years, the numbers have increased exponentially. 54% of women, 46% of men have actually suffer from an anxiety disorder. And recreational drugs, alcohol, etc., you name it. I knew people used those as self-medicate themselves from stress, anxiety, and or depression. But what I didn't know, was scary for me, having two daughters, 16 and 18 years old, is that 42% of our young adults, that means almost half of our population, 14 to 25 in America, regularly use these recreational drugs for them to cope with stress, anxiety, and depression. Now, and here's a huge financial hit for employers because we have so much stress, anxiety, and depression. People, can't show up for work or whatever the reason is. The employers are actually losing an estimated $225.8 billion each year due to stress, anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. 14.8 million Americans, that means 6.7% of the population, suffers from depression. And a third of them have a substance abuse problem. Why? Because they don't get treated, they self-medicate, like what we just covered. Now, the stress level in today's society has gotten so high over the past 10, 15 years. So level 1 means you're on vacation, you're on the beach, not a care in the world, no stress. 10 is you're a pressure cooker. Well, the average is about a 5 right now. So the average is a 5. So that means people are at a 5 stress level on a continual basis for long terms throughout the day. And it could go even higher. And here's what happens. If you're at a 5 stress level, which is very high to be at for long periods of time, if stress, anxiety, and leads to depression, here are some of the effects. You're going to age at a faster rate. You're going to have weight gain, sometimes obesity, inability to lose weight. Your sleep is all over the map. So is your mood. Your energy, you're very fatigued. Your focus is almost non-existent. Your social life is also almost non-existent. This could lead to heart disease, asthma, diabetes, headaches, or you name it. You can let your imagination go. The effects get worse and worse and worse. But it can also lead to premature death. And you think that might be a little bit dramatic, but unfortunately it's true. And these are just to name a few of the effects. Now let's go ahead and tackle category number 2, environmental toxins and chemicals. So the CDC claims that we're actually exposed to 50,000 chemicals per day. So that doesn't mean, this is an average. So it doesn't take in consideration if you live somewhere where the air is crisp and clean, or if you live in an inner city, what have you, what your diet is, how much you work out. This is an average. 50,000 chemicals per day, some more, some a little less. The EPA says that our drinking water, even bottled water, may contain contaminants such as mercury, cyanide, arsenic, asbestos, and uranium, just to name a few. Now, you're wondering why that baby has such a shocked look on his little face. Well, because an average person right now, as you're listening to this, has approximately 5 to 25 pounds of intestinal toxic matter. Why does that matter? Well, because we absorb our nutrients through our intestinal tract. And so if your intestinal tract has 5 to 25 pounds of toxic matter, the ability to absorb the nutrients that we need to stay healthy and functioning is almost non-existent. Right, so we have to cleanse, we have to detox this stuff out of us, just like changing the oil in your car. No different. Now, over the past 30 years, research has actually shown that daily exposure to the increased amount of toxic chemicals have really led to our serious health problems. Now, fruit, vegetables, all good for you. But we do have about 110 chemicals that are used just to grow an apple, and then we wash it in the sink. Well, there's 700 chemicals in our tap water today. An average of 13 hormone-altering chemicals are found in the bodies of teenage girls. Sometimes you might look at the teenage girls, and she might be 12 years old, 13 years old, but just at a glance, you would think that she was much, much older. And what happens is the hormone altering chemicals that they're exposed to helps them, it makes them age at a faster rate. Now, hundreds of synthetic chemicals are found in the umbilical cord of newborn babies. Well, we already know that what the mom eats or drinks gets transferred to the baby. Well, also the toxins, chemicals, environmental toxins, etc., also get to the exposed to the baby also. Now, here's the effects of being exposed to such high levels of environmental toxins and chemicals today. We have different types of pollution. We have our air pollution, water pollution, soil contamination. We also have natural disasters, fires, etc. And so what happens is, here's how we find out that we're being affected. Right? We have, and these are the minor issues. You have headaches, reduced energy, gas, bloating, constipation, indigestion, obesity, prostate disease, peptic ulcers, acne, premature aging, skin issues, and even colorectal cancer, which is the fourth leading death of women, unfortunately. But what happens is we usually kind of leave most of these untreated, kind of don't take that much notice of them. But what happens is that if we ignore these warning signs, just no different than the change oil light in your car, if you ignore that, your engine's going to seize. Well, if you ignore these warning signs, they're all magnified, and some will even become deadly if the intestines are not cleansed out. But you might be asking yourself a question, what is the solution? Well, we actually have a solution. I'm happy to say you'll hear the answers that you need just by clicking on step number 2 below, and watch for all the answers that you need to everything that we just covered. Thank you so much. I'll see you in a minute.